Alrighty, and welcome back, episode 4 of the Other Side of Things podcast. We're on episode 4 already, guys. That's almost a month. We've been doing this for almost a month. Good stuff. We have a special guest today. My girlfriend Shy is with us to talk about one of our segments that we are really excited for. So, hello, Shy.
Hello.
As usual, we got Higgy, we got Keaton, and we got Radish in the mix. All 4 of us are on camera this week. Let's go! I'm excited for this. First on the agenda, a lot of you did not like what Higgy had to say last week. I got some pretty interesting messages. I think Keaton got some.
Did you
too.
really?
Yeah.
No one said anything to me.
Yeah, I got some pretty interesting messages. They're like, "Why?"
Read them to me. Read them to me.
Now you're gonna make me dig. Hold on.
Actually, don't believe you.
I got one with
I can pull up some of the ones that I got.
Yeah, you do it first, Keaton. I gotta pull up one I got from one of my viewers.
I'm not going to disclose names because
I'm not going to either.
Kind of hurtful.
Oh yeah, no.
One of mine said straight up, "Does Higgy have ears?" So, yeah, that's one of them.
Unknown user 427 says Higgy's basically a cretin. So, anybody who is listening, I'm not going to look it up at the time currently, but if you guys would like to do some further research, feel free, and it's probably not the nicest thing that's ever been said about Higgy, so...
oh my god.
I want to look it up.
So...
But anyways, so because Higgy went on his rant last week, we now have a new segment on the podcast called Higgy's Hot Takes. So this is the first segment. I guess second. The second time we're doing this. But Higgy, what you got for us?
Hold on, before you begin.
Okay, so
hold on, Shumia. Why don't we rename it to
unlike
Higgy's
Keaton,
Hot
where
Hates?
he just has the fun facts, which are great. Don't get me wrong, I love them. They're 100% amazing. I tried to do mine specifically with the topic. The thing is, since we're talking about work experiences today, mine are more so. It's more lukewarm takes with Higgy, just because they weren't the hottest takes.
Okay.
But I have 2. My first one said, I would much rather work mindless, repetitive jobs than ones that constantly engage my mind. Like, I'd rather just do the same thing over and 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 over for hours straight, rather than like constantly being like thinking and engaging and doing stuff.
Okay.
Agree. Welcome to accounting.
I can get to that.
Yeah, I know. So both of mine, this is excluding like career jobs. So like if you're an actor or like an architect or whatever you like actually like go to school for, like what you want to become, like that's different. I'm talking about just like regular jobs in general. So
okay.
So like so obviously like me wanting to do like music and acting, I'd much rather do that, and that's constantly engaging my mind. But I'm saying just like a regular everyday job. Yeah, so that wasn't exactly a hot take. My other one is physical labor jobs are the best kind of jobs.
Okay. So like not like desk jobs?
No, those are the absolute worst.
Okay, sorry, Keaton.
The only no, and that's fine if that works for him. But I'm saying for me personally, like other than streaming, I can never sit behind a desk doing my job. You know what I mean? So say like I were to become like a streamer full time or something. That's the only desk job I would work, because I can't just be sitting there doing this. Like I need to be able to put my own creative energy into things. Hey, and that's fine. I'm not calling you out, Keaton. I'm just saying it for me personally.
No, I've realized every single week we had a really good bond, We're slowly separating, and I hope you know that.
I hate that.
Okay, so here's the thing. You're doing what, accounting?
Yes, I want to hear what Radish has to say first.
Yeah, Radish has to say.
So I hate you said
I was gonna say you can be my accountant, Keaton. That's perfectly fine. I'm saying personally I couldn't do it.
After the interrupting,
can I speak now?
Radish, talk.
I speak now? Okay.
I can't hear Radish. I
Wait.
can't see or hear him.
Oh God!
no.
Come on.
That's good. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, it's unfortunate that Keaton said bone because I was gonna say. So does that mean OnlyFans is a
Oh.
legitimate job?
I could sit behind a desk and do that.
You'd be
But,
on the anyways. No more.
But basically,
No
it
more.
seems like
Oh my God.
Higgy's hot takes is going to make us separate about as fast as Pangea did.
Oh
And,
man.
it took a long time, so Higgy, our bonds are still, very strong together. But I just had to use scissors and cut a little bit of that out because of that. So still appreciate you, but I love physical labor, but desk jobs are nice. I don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, true.
Guess you could say you didn't account for that in your friendship, did you?
You don't get
Thank you,
those
thank you.
puns from working a manual labor job. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Higgy, can we still not hear or see Radish?
No, I can't hear, because for me it's showing the loading dots on his camera,
Okay.
and then over in the chat on general it just has a constant green circle around his picture, and that's it.
See, the constant green circle is correct. That's valid. I don't know
It's
why.
like I can't hear a single thing he's saying or see him.
Wow, this should be interesting.
That's unfortunate.
That's very
I
unfortunate.
will raise my hand. Oh wait, he can't see my hand.
I mean, we can always cut this, but I'm just gonna leave and come back, see if
Okay.
that changes anything.
All right, we'll see how that does. Wow.
Justy Loki, you could be like the game master, so you can shut Higgy up and go Radish. Speak.
Oh my God.
That would
What do
be
you think?
so funny.
What
That
do you
would
think?
be so funny,
You could
actually.
use your overarching DCG power and let the lesser known ones be like,
The lesser known ones.
yeah, be like, shh, silence.
Oh my God.
All right, Higgy, we
No.
good now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's move on. Let's go from one end of this heated debate to the other end of the heated debate with Keaton's fun facts of the week. This is our third time doing this, so what you got for us, Keaton?
Hi everyone, it's me. So our fun fact of the week is going to ironically have to deal with a manual labor job. So, for some reason, I thought to myself, construction sounds nice. So, we're going to do a fun fact of the week involving construction. Did you know that the average age of a construction worker today is 42 years old? So, 1 year older than the average of a worker in the general labor force.
Okay.
That's 42 years older than a newborn baby.
Yes, it is.
He's got a point.
Yes, it is, Radish.
But okay, so I found that interesting in the workforce today. Personally, for me, I feel like that is so much older than I expected.
Yeah, that's what
feel
I
like
was thinking.
That is a really high age, especially with so many people going into I know a lot of people that are in construction management at ONU, of course. But there's a lot of people that just aren't going into construction or going on job sites along with the pandemic, which isn't really allowing people to be on job sites at the time too. It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary what's going on with construction.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot younger as well. Because usually, like, when you, like, pass, like, with the construction people, it usually looks like 20s or 30s, you know?
Right.
But that could be taken, because I guess, like, the managers are, the managers are a little older, so they have to take that into account, too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most of the managers that have the degrees that do like the civil engineering and electrical engineering stuff like that, they're usually the ones that are older, but they probably age a little bit better than the ones that are actually doing the manual labor. So,
Right.
the ones behind the desks get to look better, feel better, and be able to run it, while the people in manual labor are the ones doing the construction. But whatever. Yeah, I still appreciate you.
I love how you guys are taking that as a dig. I was
The
just
hot
saying me
take.
personally.
But see,
I
I feel
take
like people in
everything
manual
personally.
labor, they do exercise every single day. I feel like they're going to end up a lot better than us desk sloths that are like slouched over our desks for 8
Hey,
hours.
I get out of
True,
my
but
chair.
also at the same time, there's also the wear and tear. But it kind of depends on what you're doing.
What about,
Get out
hear
of
me
my
out,
chair.
hear me out, hear me out. standing desks.
Get out of here, you freaking Gen Z. What
All
are you
right,
fucking
fine,
saying?
fine.
Get out
Sorry.
of here with your
My name's
innovative,
Justy. My desk goes
healthy-
up and down. My setup can go from sitting to standing.
Sounds like my brother. My brother has one of those desks that he just pushes a button, it goes up and down.
I mean, don't
called-
get me
it's
wrong,
called an
standing desks are
elevator.
nice. Like, standing
don't need
desks
that for
are
a desk.
nice.
Or hear me out. Treadmill desks.
That's even worse.
I'm down with that.
Are you actually?
Oh my
You might as well just
my
have
God.
a stationary bike as your desk chair.
Justin would
Stationary
trip.
bike
Pedaling
desk.
the whole time doing paperwork.
Justin would be on a Zoom meeting and just
That's
go,
already a
"Plop."
thing.
Oh my god, it literally is a Zoom meeting because you're running on a treadmill, and it literally means you're running a business because you're running
Wow.
whilst doing business. Anyways, my puns are over. Thank you. very
This is
much.
amazing. I love this.
Radish doesn't need a segment. He just does puns throughout the whole show.
Right.
Yes, sir.
That's
Radish's
Alright.
contract has 5 puns an episode, and if he
Yeah.
doesn't reach the milestone, he gets kicked.
yeah. He gets kicked.
That's his minimum. That's his minimum.
Gets replaced by Quentin.
No, no one can
Just-
replace Radish.
You did not just. You did not just.
Oh,
Here we go.
straight call him out.
Here we go.
Anyways,
This will be interesting.
let's move on to our main segment of the day, where we talk about our worst work experiences and why they were the worst. First, I think we should go around and say like what like kind of jobs we had before we go into why like some of our experiences were so bad there. So me, I was a lifeguard for about 6 years. Then I worked at a shoe store, and then I am currently working in the mailroom at on my campus, which surprisingly doesn't have a lot of bad stories. But yeah, who wants to go next? All right, Keaton. No, now everyone jump at once. My God.
So I worked at the local state park that I live close to. I worked in the commissary, so I did anything from scoop ice cream for about 5 hours to help manage about 450 sites. It is the most populated state park in Ohio. And then after that, I got an internship with the state auditor's office around the area. So desk job, shout out Higgy. But yeah, those were my jobs. Higgy, I'm not letting it go. I'm just gonna run with the bit. Just let me run with the bit, okay?
That's fine. I'm not gonna say anything about it. So I've only had 2 jobs. Well, okay, technically I've had 3, but one of them wasn't really a job, but it was kind of me and my friend just like cutting lawns and stuff like that for money. There's not really any bad stories with that because it was one of my best friends, or I mean, still one of my best friends, but it's all we did was just like yard work. My first job, I started last September and quit like around Thanksgiving. I worked at a trampoline park.
Yeah, you were
Most
there
of
for
the
like
time
a
I was-
month.
Yeah.
I started the week before, the week after Thanksgiving. Or no, it was the week before Thanksgiving I quit. But
Okay.
yeah, and so basically in that job, most of the time I was a sanitation lead, so I was literally just walking around with a cart, spraying and cleaning stuff the whole time. Which is funny, translates into my second job. But or sometimes I would like be putting the harnesses on the kids because we had this thing called the Skyrider, which is pretty much just like a big circular zip line thing. So I'd hook kids into that. I didn't really have any bad stories necessarily with the kids, but the employees. And then the job I work currently is I work at the student union at my university,
Onion.
and
Onion?
the student onion. The onion. But so basically what I do is I'm an operations assistant, which means if people set any reservations in the building for like study rooms or like the chancellor's doing a photo shoot or whatever, I pretty much go around and I'll set like the tables and chairs in the rooms and make sure it's good to go. If there's a movie theater at night, I'll like put on the movies, that kind of stuff. But
Okay.
yeah,
I love trampolines.
Yeah, I like trampolines too. I remember like when Higgy was
hate 'em
working
now.
there, like I get like a video from Hey, no. We are not telling that story, Shy. No. No.
You kind of have to now.
Too late now. It's now part of the public
You can
domain.
cut it
All
out
right,
if
you
really-
go ahead.
So, Justin and I and his brother went to Sky Zone one time, and Justin does this flip, and all, I can't even get it out. He like does a flip, and we hear something, and we're like, we thought he farted. He goes, guys, we have to leave right now. And me and Jonathan look at each other, and he's like, I just ripped my pants. He ripped his pants all the way down, and he wasn't wearing underwear.
Oh.
Wait, why are you freeballing in a
It
trampoline park?
was- yeah, all right.
Dude,
All
I was
right,
literally
relax,
dying
relax.
laughing.
Relax.
Yo.
It was one. Listen. It
Bare
was
booty Justy. Bare
It
booty
was like
Justy
the
out here.
shorts. It was just like athletic shorts with like the built-in
Yeah, it
underwear.
had
Oh, like the bird dogs or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
my-
So it had
We
the built-in
literally-
stuff.
About to say.
Justin sprinted out of there, and then in Chicago,
Oh my God, Shy.
he's put his pants again. Oh boy.
I've done that on set before. Like, we were literally filming, and I took a big step, and it just ripped like from the inside all the way down.
Yeah, that was not
Sorry.
one of my proudest moments. I was just like, we have to
Sorry.
go right now, and they're like, why? I'm like, just don't
re-
ask.
We all heard
So
it too, but we
regardless
thought it was
of,
a fart.
So regardless of ripped pants, Radish, where'd you
Thank
work
you.
at, buddy?
Thank you for the lovely segue. I admittedly have not had that many jobs. I've had a lot of volunteer work, but I've only really had 2 jobs. I've worked for 8 months. My first 4 months, I was an assistant to, well, not an assistant. I was like an assistant planner in a consulting firm. We were doing transportation mobility work. And another 4 months, I was the transit analyst, and I was a transit planning operations analyst for a municipal transit agency. But other than that, I've done 3 years or 2 years of orientation week, a bunch of like volunteer work here and there with like the college and stuff. And I sat in a student union for 4 months. Sorry, no, I sat in a student
Onion.
association for my program
In
for
the
4
onion.
months, and I hated it. So
Question, Radish.
Good
Does
morning.
your does your transportation job have anything to do with your Twitch like Discord thing with all the train stations and stuff?
yes,
Okay.
it
Cool.
lands quite squarely into it because it's transit. My Twitch theme is transit. So
I was just wondering if that was why. That's cool.
Could you imagine me doing freshman orientation?
you would sooner
gosh.
hurt the kids.
The kids would transfer.
I can guarantee you. I can
I did it.
guarantee
I
you
did it.
every single student coming to campus would know where the nearest Wendy's is. Can guarantee it.
So yeah, anyways, here is the pharmacy building. Also Wendy's is 15 miles north. And if we go inside, you can connect to the Wi-Fi and actually
15 miles.
validate how far it is. So but
It would be like the group
Yeah.
field trip, like at
Yeah.
orientation. That's their lunch is the Wendy's.
Yeah. Where's the dining
So,
hall?
yeah.
Oh,
Right.
it's the Wendy's up in up north.
Wendy's just
I did,
have
I
a
did
Wendy's in the
orientation for
onion.
2 years.
You give no context. You just bring them there, and they're like, "Why are we at a Wendy's?" And you're like, "Exactly."
They wake up, it's
Exactly.
2 a.m. How did we get here? Welcome to Wendy's.
Welcome to Chili's.
Excuse
Wait.
me, ma'am. I know you've been here for 48 hours. Would you like a fo?
Oh my god.
Wait, Keaton, did you say you were an orientation leader?
Yep, I did it 2 years in a row.
Oh man, how was it?
So to be honest with you, it was about 14-hour days, and
Mhm.
you worked basically 5 days a week, and you just try to get your kids out as much as possible. You'd get up at 6, and go to sleep around 10:30, 11, and then you would get breaks for food, and then there would be like breaks in between. But other than that, it was like straight like the amount of times that I said "Go Bears" in a 5-day period. It's almost unreal. But
I feel it, brother. I feel it.
but I love it. I absolutely loved it because I got to be an absolute crackhead for 5 days straight, and these kids were terrified of me. They like literally my first group that I had junior year called me Papa because I told them everything and anything about the university, and they were like, "You're just like our dad." I was like,
God.
Papa.
and I was like,
Oh
I guess.
my.
And then one of the you always get a weird guy in your group. He's like our Papa. And then so every time like I would wave to him, they'd be like, "What's up, pops?" Be like, "Okay, don't make me feel too old."
I feel all of. I felt.
Yeah.
I feel it.
I just
It's
feel
fun.
like
He's literally Papa Bear.
I feel like if I were to do it, like oh, where's the nurse bathroom? Like, shut up, Mark. Shut up about the bathroom. I don't care. There's one like every corner. Just choose one. I don't know. I feel like I'd be
It's
really
so
bad at it.
aggravated.
So here's grass. What do you do here? There's just grass. All right.
There's a lot of icebreakers involved. Like you have to really be into conversations with that. It is like it's very, very hard. You have to go through training for icebreakers and to like I guess you could say de-escalate situations where people talk about like, okay, well, where can you drink? Where's the nearest party house? Like what fraternity or sorority is the one to rush? Which one likes to party? Which one likes to do this? It's like where like just a bunch of like questions which I have been asked, mind you. People have asked me that, and I am completely honest when I answer them, but when I'm in training, I'm not.
I would have been lying all the time. So how's the Greek life here? Oh, we don't have that.
Oh, okay, that's funny. We did a training thing where it was like a simulation. One of the other OLs would be a student, and the other OL would be like an actual orientation leader. And one of the things was talking about drinking, and so they were talking like, so what fraternity is the best to drink at? And I was like, oh well, we actually don't have Greek life here on campus, but we have like a religious fraternity called I Felt a Thigh. I mean, if you want to join that, you can.
Sorry, I felt a thigh. Excuse me.
Yes, exactly what you heard. And then I got everybody to laugh, and then I got told to sit down. I didn't pass the training,
Oh
so
my god.
it was worth it though.
That's so funny.
Well, the leaders are lame. I would have
The
given you a high five.
leaders, sorry, the leaders really weren't that fond of me, so that's fun.
That's fun.
It do be how it is.
Shy, what did you do for work?
Oh my god.
So I've worked as a waitress for the last like 4 to 5 years. I'm not really sure. And then I worked at a spa and I cleaned the rooms, which was like disgusting. And I hated that job. I lasted like 3 months. And then I've taught Taekwondo for like 10 years. And then I babysit now.
I took Taekwondo.
Is
Yeah.
Justy the baby you're sitting?
Yeah,
I did
basically.
that. I did.
He's harder to take care of than the kids sometimes.
Come on.
There it is.
Yeah, Keaton, Shy's a
Get him a burger and all as well.
Shy's a 3rd degree black belt. Silence.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
Okay, sad story. I took Taekwondo as a kid, and I did it for 2 months, and then my instructor died.
Oh, yeah, that's
That's not good.
no.
But the wisdom that I learned in the 2 months will surpass his life. So
Live
That's not
on
funny. Rest in
forever.
peace, but like still.
It is kind
thank
of
you,
funny.
thank you, Mr. Shoemaker, for all you did for me. Rest
He's
in
literally
peace.
Poe with Master Oogway.
Monkey. Sorry.
Monkey.
Monkey.
uh, okay. I think Shy should keep going. So tell us about some of your
Oh god.
some of your bad experiences.
So I asked my coworkers because like not one thing comes to mind because literally rude people come in all the time to
Mhm.
Angela's. It's really bad. But I did have this one lady. It was like a month into working there, and she came in and she was like, she like didn't like the water. Like literally nothing I did like could please her. She was angry about everything and being like super mean, and she talked shit to my manager about me. But I was like super nice to her. But anyways, the entire meal she had a problem with everything. So she comes up to pay, and my dad has his business cards next to the cash register. And she picks up the business card. She's like, I love this family. I am so close to this family. And she starts talking up my family. And she's like, I loved Buddy, which was my grandpa. And she's like, it's such a shame that he died. And I looked at her. I had a receipt in my hand. And I go, that was my grandpa. It's a shame you didn't like your food. And I slid the receipt over to her. And I walked to the back. The look on her face was like priceless. She was like so shocked. She like came up to me. She's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were Buddy's granddaughter. I'm like, still, like, she was so mean. And then one time this lady poured her soup into her salad and handed it back to me. And she handed it back to me. She's like, my salad's a little soupy. I'm gonna need a new one. And I was like, okay. So I got her a new one, and then she almost did it again, and I told her, I'm like, ma'am, I'm gonna have to charge you for both of those. So she's like, really? I was like, yeah. She just kept pouring her soup into her salad.
Why?
I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Weird.
Hearing like the soup going into the salad, for some reason I thought of the Wiggles. You know how they say fruit salad?
Oh yeah.
I was thinking soup
Just
salad.
like vegetable salad. Or
Yummy,
wait.
yummy.
What did you say?
Excuse me?
Say it again.
No, I'm good.
Say it again.
I said vegetable salad. That's literally every salad. Oh, that's a
Not a
blonde
fruit
moment
salad.
right
A fruit
there.
salad is not a vegetable salad. It's a fruit salad.
That's true.
She said vegetable salad.
You're doing great, Shy. You're doing great.
I'm
like
nervous.
my
I don't
salad.
like talking.
I'd like my salad boneless with vegetables, please.
A little soupy.
Oh,
Gosh.
Can you tell some stories from the spa?
Oh yeah. So at the spa, we had like a couples room, and yeah, that was you could like walk past it and hear what went on in there. Anyways, so I would like have to clean the tubs, which was gross because you know what happens in there too. And one time I was like cleaning the couch, like the little bench area, and I literally pulled out like a heart thong. I was like, oh my god. And then the lady came back for it.
They let them have their own room in a spa?
It's like, yeah, so like you have a room and then you go in and you have like an hour. It's really like, it's a high class spa. And you have like your own room and you have like an hour to like take a bath or a shower. And there's like a bench and magazines and stuff. It's like $600 for a couple massage. But yeah,
Like,
I just thought like the audacity of somebody to come back for their thong.
a lot of
After
confidence.
A 15-year-old pulled it out of the bench.
That's a lot of confidence.
Yeah, it was gross.
Yikes.
Yeah, and then one time I was crying in the basement.
You were crying in the basement?
Because I was just like overwhelmed. It was a horrible job. And the owner of the spa was down there. And I just started ranting. I was like so upset, but I didn't know he was the owner of the spa. And he's just like looking at me. Oh my god. And then I found out later that he was the owner because he came in and he like introduced himself.
And that's how you lost that job.
That's it when I quit. Yeah.
Rip.
Anyways, yeah.
That's funny.
I think most of my bad experiences are based off of like customers as well. So like, I mean, customers and patrons, like the pool was a disaster for people, especially like on busy days. So we had this rule where like if you had a child that was 5 or under, they like a parent had to be in the pool with them. And like we had so many people like like try to bend the rule and be like, oh, they have a floaty on, it's okay, and this kid's just like just like
Drowning.
like a turtle on its back, and I'm just like, your kid is drowning, and I'm just like, and they're like, well, that's your job to like fix it. I'm like, no, like there's like 100, 200 people here, like I gotta watch everyone else. I'm not here for your kid. And we had this one woman that like was like suntanning on the pool deck on her stomach, and literally like her 2 fingers were in the pool. And I'm like, ma'am, you have to be in the pool with your son. And she's like, I am in the pool. I was like, where? I was like, where? She's like, my hand is in the pool. I'm in the pool. So I'm like, so if your kid just starts like out of nowhere, sinks, and I can't get there, what are you gonna do? She's like, I'll just get him. I'm like, you're on your stomach. You're comfortable. Like you to like you're not gonna get up. So she starts like yelling at me, and then like her wife comes over, starts yelling at me, and I'm like, look, I'm just like, I don't make the rules. Like this is like state law. I'm like, you have to like get in the pool like with your son. And she's like, oh, I'm just simply not gonna do that. I don't want to get wet. I'm like, all right. Then I was like, hey kid, get out of the pool. She's like, you can't do that. I was like, yes I can. I was like, I don't want like I'm not like responsible for your kid. I'm responsible for everybody there. All right. And I'm like watching, like I was in this area where like the slide comes down, and like there's been a moment where a girl has came down that slide and has had a full-blown seizure. Okay, like what? Like I'm not gonna go get little Johnny who just wants to look at the diving board, just you know. So I got my supervisor, and then she ran away. Like she literally just got up and like left, and I was like, all right, bye. But yeah, like the patrons were just so rude to me. We had this one, like there's a height limit for slides as well. So like it's like I think you have to be 4 feet tall to go on the slides.
Shame.
So you're good.
He measured me the other day.
Yeah, we did. She's 4'11 and a half. Anyways, so like there's like this one girl that like couldn't go down. Like there was like 3 girls, and she couldn't go down because she like her she was too short, and like I was like told him like you can't go down, and her friends like her mom's the head of the Girl Scouts. And I was like, I don't care. Go down. I was like, go down the stairs, please.
Weird flex, but okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, honestly.
I was like, when did I ask? Like, I don't care. Like, what is she gonna do? Like, throw like Samoas at me? Like, come on. Like,
Badges.
it's like, come on, bro. She's like, we're gonna get her. I'm like, go get her then. And then her mom comes up. Yeah, go on, Higgy.
I was just sitting there, just sharpening the edge of her thin mints, just ready to throw them at a moment's
It's like
notice.
throwing
Oh
stars,
my
bro.
goodness.
Yeah, it's.
And I was like, then go get your mom. I don't care. So the mom comes up. She's like, why can't my daughter go down the slide? And I was like, cause she's not tall enough. Like that's how I deal with like people that giving me sass. Like I'll talk in the same voice as them, like back at them, and like yeah. So I was like, your daughter isn't tall enough. And she's like, can you make an exception? I'm like, no, it's the law. And
You should have like started freaking out, be like, "Oh my god, I heard you're the head of the Girl Scouts. I can't believe it."
yeah, so I was like, yeah, I can't go down. But it's always so awkward because like we've had like, this is gonna sound really mean, but like people with dwarfism come to the pool, and like these are like 30, 40-year-olds who are not tall enough for the slide, and I have to tell these people they can't go down. And they get all upset. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I just can't let you go down. Like, it's not an age limit, it's a height limit, you know? So, like, I don't want to
I
make that
feel
sound, like,
that.
sensitive, but, like, I'm sorry. That's just how it is, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah. And then, am I talking too much? Does someone else want to go?
I
And,
mean,
like,
Oh, it's fine. It's
I got, like, one more, like solid story. So,
We
No, go
like
for it.
solid.
okay.
You don't have to confine it to 45 minutes. It can be a little longer.
No, yeah, we're fine. So I used to work at a store called Journeys, and you know, management at the store was kind of like, they're actually very strict on things. Like there's training you have to do, and like you have to know for sure how to like put the boxes and everything, and know where everything is, and you have to greet. Excuse me, you have to greet literally every customer that comes in. And it's just kind of crazy. So like management was like a
Question
little,
before you
yeah.
continue. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't like NBA 2K or something have like the Journeys as the shoe store?
I
'Cause
don't
it sounds
know.
familiar because I don't have one around here.
No,
I feel like it
Journeys.
is. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But
No,
I just
you're
wanted to
good.
get that
Journeys
thought
is
out
like
before
an
I forgot about
edgy van store.
we have
As an
Journeys
avid
in
2K player,
mall.
it
Am I-
is not Journeys. It is called the NBA 2K shoe store.
Oh my.
There might
Yeah.
be some video game. It
You were
might
close,
be like
though,
Gate or
Higgy.
something.
I believe
It might be like Gate or something. I know it's
I
in a video
think you're
game.
either thinking of I think you're either thinking of GTA or Saints Row.
Maybe. I know there's some store called Journeys in a video game. But sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Continue.
Okay.
I just had to get
Anyways,
that thought
we
out
had
there
this
before I forgot.
during the winter. It's like prime Timberland season, so like people just come in for Tims all the time, which I didn't mind it because like my commission went up a lot because those things are like $100-$200. So we had this one
Tims are
guy.
nice.
This is one guy that wanted these black pairs of Tims, and we only had like one size. Like his size was the only one left. And like we didn't have extras, and I bring him out, and he's like, "These are scuffed." And I'm like, all right. I mean, like, this is the only one we have left. Either you take them and you get the cleaning kit. It can take off scuffs, scratches, stuff like that, and then or you can just get out of the store. And I didn't say it like that. I was like, or you can try somewhere else, or you can get the hell out of here, dude.
Oh my.
But he's like, no, they're scuffed, and you're just trying to get me to buy more. I know there's more in the back. And I was like, there's not. And he's like, just check in the back. I'm like, where do you think I just came from? And I was like, I was kind of getting fed up with this guy. I'm like, all right, so I'm about to do something real petty. So I go back there. I wait a couple seconds, and I come back out with the same pair of boots. And I go, you're right, there was one in the back. He takes a look at them. I didn't do anything to them. He takes a look at them and goes, yeah, these are better. And buys them. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What a stupid idiot!
Exactly.
Did he grab the other shoe or something?
No, he looked at both. He's like, this guy was like,
He would
I
have
don't
been
know.
so mad though if he just found out like it was the same scuff for.
like this dude just like looked at it like his shoe like this, like both shoes like this the entire time. And like I gave it back to him, and he looked at him again and goes, yeah, these are a lot better. And I'm like, I was like, did you put glasses on or something, dude? I was like, we literally just went full circle with that. You just wasted like 30 minutes of my time. So yeah, that's like my prime customer moment at Journeys.
Hearing that, Higgy, I think I may have a hot take for you to talk about next week.
Okay, yeah, just
Yeah.
text me.
Yeah, just hearing that, but yeah, go. Somebody else can go.
Kinda
I'll
curious. I
wait.
feel
I
like-
only have
definitely
one
text me.
story. So.
I feel like it's gonna roast me. All right, someone else go.
Eaton, you said you only had
Yeah,
one story?
yeah, I only have one.
I also only have
Okay,
one.
yeah, then you
Oh, how sweet. Okay, so at the state park that I worked at, I worked there since I was 16 years old. Worked there from 16 to 20 years old. One of the best jobs I've ever had. But when I tell you the amount of entitled people that think a 45-foot slab of concrete with some electric on it is a 5-star hotel, it's crazy.
Wait, what do you
It's
mean?
insane.
Like,
What?
They expected more.
Like, no. They didn't expect more. That was their vacation. So like when they're on vacation, they expected to be treated, like royalty. So like they know everything goes right. The customer's always right, but
No.
they're not.
Yeah.
But,
no, they're never.
They're never right though.
Yeah.
yeah.
So basically what happened was about 3 weeks in, 4th of July is the biggest weekend here at Indian Lake, along with any other campground anywhere really in the United States. And this man and his child come in, and I guess this was a regular guy, I didn't know. Comes in and goes, I want my spot. I said, okay, what's your spot? He goes, well, I just have a spot. I said, okay, what's your name? Gave me his name, looked in there, didn't have a spot. I said,
Like
sir,
a
you don't have a
camping
spot,
spot?
and we don't have any spot. What?
Like a camping spot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he comes in and he's like, okay, I want my spot, and there's no camping spots available because you can reserve 6 months in advance, and people wait till like midnight to exactly 6 months to be able to camp there. It's kind of ridiculous. And I just told this guy, I was like, we don't have any spots left, and he goes, you're lying. I said,
Hey, let me
no.
look in the back and check.
No.
Comes
Dude,
out with the
I am
same
16 years old. This dude, no joke, is like 6'3", tatted up, piercings everywhere, and his little kids running around causing mayhem in the store. And I'm sitting here by myself, but there's a park ranger in the back. And so I started talking a little bit louder. I was like, this is gonna get a little weird, isn't it? And I was like, sir, we don't have any spots. And he goes, that's BS. And I said, sir, there's no spots left. And he's like, I don't know why you're lying to me, you little pipsqueak. And I said, oh. I turned the monitor around and the cords are literally wrapped. I said, do you see this? Yeah, that's the number 0. So there's no spots left because I'd had it and I'd never been through a confrontation like that in a job, and I was like, I don't really know how to work with this, so I'm just gonna be an asshole. Because why not? Because
If
who
they're
cares?
being an
So I turned
Right.
I turned the computer around and I said, do you want any other weekend? And he goes, no. Obviously, I came in here for this one. And I was like, okay. And so he just rambles off, calls me some of the worst obscenities I've ever heard in my life. Like some of the stuff that I use in my vocabulary now for people that I get mad at. So at least at the end of the day, I learned something from him. And his kid is still running rampant. And I looked at his kid. I was like, can you please stop running in the store? And he goes, don't talk to my kid. I'm like, oh, here we go. And this guy, no joke, 5 minutes goes on, gets mad at me. I tell him one more time, sir, there's no sites. Like, there's nothing I can do for you. This guy spits on me.
Oh no.
From across the desk, right on my chest. Right here.
Ew.
Dude, that's when you punt the kid
Yeah.
for 40 yards. Just send the
So
Bears to the
here's
Super
what
Bowl.
happened. So here's what happened.
Just pick up Cody Park and get a double doink on the kid.
So
Off the doorway and into the street.
so I'm sitting there and I'm dumbfounded. I'm obviously like numb, completely frozen. I'm like, this 6'3" tatted guy, of all of the things that he could do, being the toughly man, stereotype that he looks like, spits on a 16-year-old kid over the desk at a campground that he wasn't even staying at. And so I sat there and I was like, okay, whatever. I can't do anything about it now. So I just sat there. Maybe like 5 seconds go by. Here comes Daryl, the park ranger, around the corner. He heard him.
Oh, no.
He heard him start up the spit, and he goes, excuse me, sir. We're going to have a talk outside. And so he looks at him and goes, no, I don't want to have a talk outside. I want a sight. And shows his gun and said, let's just go outside. I was like,
Wait, the guy showed his gun?
No, the
no, the park ranger.
Okay, I was about to say, I'm like,
Oh,
oh
here
my
I
God.
am, spit on my shirt, almost crap in my pants because I have no idea what's going on. And that's the first time I've ever seen somebody actually like have a gun in public. And I was like, this is nuts. This is crazy what's going on right now. They walk outside. Fun fact, a week later, that guy had a 5-year ban from the state park.
Oh,
5-year
man.
ban.
Dude, it takes a lot to get banned from a public place. Like,
Bro,
come
from
on.
a state park. It was
Ban
a
him.
state order that went through that banned that specific person to ever step on state park property
Was
for
it
5 years.
No, and that's a
Was it because
there's a lot
he
of
spit?
legislation that goes into it. 'Cause-
Oh.
Go on, Higgy.
yeah. Oh, I was just saying there's a lot of legislation that goes into like that too. Like there's a lot of time and effort to get someone banned. Because my mom works at a courthouse in a decently large city here, and it's like it takes a lot.
a long time, and it
So
went
they
a
went
week.
through, yeah, yeah,
Dude.
they pushed that through quick.
And I think it's so funny because I saw the guy last summer. I was ironically, Justy, you're gonna love this. I went for my lunch break at my internship, drive through Wendy's,
Yes, let's go.
and I got myself a salad. And guess who I saw behind me in the drive-through?
You got a salad at
Their
Wendy's?
salads are good.
Justin, I was watching my figure. I was pushing out of my pants.
That's
Please
like going to
understand.
Steak and Shake where it's getting a salad. Oh my. Okay. keep
Justy,
going.
my khakis look like a parachute. Please understand.
Okay. Fine.
Um,
Fine.
and literally I see the face of this guy behind me, and I turn my head out the door, and his kids with him, and he's all grown up. So I did what a normal person would. I put my head out the window and I said, "Hey, buddy, f you."
Oh my god. Why?
Got my food and left.
You had no
Yeah,
business
so
in doing
I got
that.
my comeuppance. Yeah, I could have called him some other obscenities, but I felt bad for his like 10-year-old kid to have his dad literally sunned by a 5'4" accountant.
Bro, that's like the little kid that gets bullied at school going up to podium like, you stink, and just like running away.
Listen, okay. I work at a desk. All right. I have no physical labor, no physical assets that allow me to fight anybody that is over the height of like 5'7". Other than that, that's all I could do. But yeah, so I got spit on at 16 years old at the state park, and I still think to this day that that story is told to the new employees, saying that crazy stuff can happen, and that's one of the examples used. So yeah. So don't spit on people.
Yeah, don't spit on
that's
people. That's gross.
Ugh.
All right. Thank you, Keaton.
That was great.
Here for a good time, not a long time.
That was fantastic, actually.
All about smiles per gallon, not miles per gallon.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly. All right, we got Higgy and Radish left. Who wants to go?
Radish can go since he only has one story.
I have a very brief one because I don't really have bad stories. Let's see. The worst experience that I probably had was like, so our dormitories, most of the on-campus dormitories are very old. They don't have any elevators, and the new ones that have elevators have usually one. So, I was tasked to move people into their rooms at a place called Village 1. And there were 5 of us, and we're like the smallest faculty. We have like 50 OLs, like engineering has a couple hundred. I think 1,000, like a couple hundred OLs. Yeah, I'm not shitting you. So here we are, this rinky-dinky team of 5 environment students trying to move in like hundreds of families. And like, I shit you not, the things that people bring in, like, you have your fridges, obviously fridges. And like the ones who live on the 3rd floor, I usually just curse them out in like within my soul because I hate them the most. There was this guy who brought in 3 huge cases of 36 750 milliliter bottles of water, and we had to carry it up for him. And I was like, are you fucking shitting me? and then like at 12:30 the math kids left, and we were like, what the fuck are we supposed to do as
Those
3
damn
environment
math kids.
students? Like the fuck, like who the fuck did the shift schedules for this shit? Like, and like some of these guys, and like we were moving, and then there's another place called Columbia Lake, which is like house styles, and like the parking lot was like here, and the houses were like there 4 blocks down, and I'm like, yeah, okay, let's go move some guy's fridge and like 7 tons of luggage into their new house, like 4 blocks away. And this isn't really the worst experience, but the funniest experience that I've had was so like I guess Keaton kind of said it, but like orientation leaders are like cultists. Like orientation is a cult. We chant our school chants, and we are basically like, come join us. We want to make friends with you. And like, so we were leaving our shift, like me and another friend, and then this guy and this girl that walks by, and I was like, hey, good, like, do you need any help? Because like we're trained to ask people for help. And the guy literally said to me, and I shit you not, sorry, but I'm gay and she's taken. I'm
What?
like, excuse me? I was about
Not that kind of help.
if I had like a sliver of confidence, I would be like, yeah, I'm gay too, but I'm not into you, sorry.
You should have.
And then okay, no, there is a bad experience for that. So this is the last thing. So there's this tradition like where one of the games is like, it's kind of like tag in a way, but you get whipped cream. And like I had to go between like there was a formal thing that I had to do for my program, and then there's this thing where we had to like chase each other with whipped cream. And mind you, I was like a homeless person in my own home because I wasn't even living in the same address. So I had like my luggage and shit all over like the living room, and I was sleeping on like the fucking mattress topper that I had on the floor without anything on it. And so like somehow in my mind I thought, oh, this is gonna be fine. I'll just do the whipped cream shit. And then they just threw tons of whipped cream on all of us. And I'm like all sticky and slimy with sweat and whipped cream. And the poor Uber driver that had to drive me home because I had to rush to the formal within half an hour. And from then on I was like, nope, if you ever sign me up for whipped cream, I am a no-show for the day. Do not.
Don't sign me up for the whipped cream.
I've never heard of that before.
Right? She's like, sees like whipped cream on like the shelf at grocery stores and just has like
PTSD.
flashbacks.
Dude, I see whipped cream and look at it's like I might have a fucking compressed air can and I have to turn it like 7 times just to make sure I'm facing it up, like away from me.
I just think it's so funny. Radish, you said there was 50 in your group, and then you said there may be like almost how many orientation leaders in general do you think that your college had?
Well, our campus is like we get like a couple thousand new students, maybe 10,000, like in the 10,000s. There's at least a team of, it's in the ballpark of 1,000. It's there for sure.
So at Ohio Northern, there were 57.
Yep, that seems about right.
I had probably, I think I had 15 kids in my first group. 15 kids that I just had to look after. So
I mean, we have like 30 and a half students, so
yeah, it's a lot.
And a half students. Sorry, a half student?
Yeah.
There's a kid with no legs.
That's the second time we made the same joke. I made that joke the first week.
No, yeah, it was like episode 1 or 2, because I went back and I'm getting all the good moments, and he made that same joke.
I made that same joke the first week. Oh my god.
I listened to that podcast.
So maybe, yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, see, at our school has like 29, 30,000 students, and it's like our orientation people, they don't do that. We 4,000. Yeah, 4,000. Yeah, I have
400.
4 students. Well, what happened to the half student? What happened to the half student, Keaton?
We lost him.
No, but we have like 29, 30,000 students. But yeah, we have to do that ourselves. When we move in, that's all on us. Like, you don't get the people to help us.
Really?
So, yeah.
We got people.
Like, if you want to help people move in, you have to be part of a club and specifically go to administration of the school and sign up and be like, hey, we have these people who need to be approved to help people move in.
I think they only do it for freshmen here. Correct me if I'm wrong, Keaton, but I think they only do it for freshmen here.
Yeah, our orientation is a completely separate event that takes place either during the summer, you'll come in for like 2 or 3 days, or if you come in like in the spring, then they'll have something like between Thanksgiving and Christmas, I think.
That's how mine was too. When I went to Cincinnati, it was like a few days in the middle of summer, and we got like our ID and stuff, and signed up for housing and classes and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then we went in the fall.
Yeah.
This is good. These are good stories. I just gotta say that. These are really good stories. All right, Higgy. It's all on you now. What you got for us? Tell us some trampoline stories.
Mine are... See, my thing is like... So Urban Air, that's the name of the place I worked.
Gotcha.
And wasn't necessarily the customers. The customers were fine. Every now and then you get a kid who was a little bratty or really annoying. Like we had this group of 3 kids, to where one of them, his mom. So I'm a theater major for those of the listeners who don't know.
Not a
His
desk job.
mom is yeah, not a desk job. His mom is one of the professors in the theater department at my school. So he just knows who I am and like knows everything about me through his mom, right? So he thinks I'm like his best friend and he
Oh
thinks I can
God.
just do everything for him. And so then we had this one section that we called the drop zone or something, which is basically like these super high power trampolines that launch like 1 feet in the air, just to like run up the walls and stuff. And they would sit on the walls behind them
And
because
you
there's like
never
a
see
little
those
ledge.
kids again.
It's like SDF movie. Screw gravity. No, but so then they would sit on the wall repeatedly, and there's literally a sign that in capital letters, "Do not sit on wall," right there. And so then the court monitor who's sitting up there, it's usually my buddy Shiloh. He's actually been in Discord with us once or twice before, Justy, a while ago, like during like months and months ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My
But
friend, you are.
But yeah, he kept telling him like, dude, you need to get down, you get down. And they come to me like, he's telling us to sit down, and we're allowed to do that. I'm like, bro, you're not. Like, it's just that's really the only customer story I have, other than just like stupid crap, like the ball pit, like people throwing all the balls out and whatever. But like they just thought I would do everything for them, and it was just really annoying. But the biggest thing there was just mainly the employees, and it's like they were the laziest, most disrespectful people. Like, so there's hard workers. There's people who do the bare minimum to stay hired, and then there's the urban air employees. Like, not only are we getting paid minimum wage, they literally don't do their job. Like, there was a day to where, because we're obviously super packed Fridays and the weekends. Now, there was a Saturday where I worked from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m.
I remember this.
as a sanitation lead. Oh, no, I did this multiple times. I literally ran the building that day. I would bounce to every place, set up all the kids. I would send them
He
on
would
the
bounce
chorus.
to
Whatever.
all.
But it's just, oh, it was bad. Like they were just so lazy. And then like we had this one kid. So what we did was, since it's really loud in there, we would have these little walkie-talkies that we could talk to each other with. This kid kept bringing them home and forgot to bring them back. He stole like 9 of them. Keep in mind, we had 16. He stole like 10.
Oh my
So
god.
they fired him because not only was he not doing his job,
Wait, you never got them
the
back?
no, oh wait, I don't know. I quit before before anything happened. But so the owner there, is the most petty, most childish person I've ever met, and he has these like mics around the building, and he'll turn it on and literally just go sit in the back and sit on the cameras and watch all the employees and see what they're doing and like listen to them, and he has his own like radio and everything, right?
Hmm.
So like eventually, so they caught him like smack talking our manager or whatever, and then they fired him for not doing his job.
Nice.
And also part of it was they knew that if he didn't work there anymore, his girlfriend wasn't going to work there either, and they wanted to get rid of her.
Oh,
And so then they found a reason to fire him. So they fired him, and she just left. But
nice.
so yeah, he would just take the
Nice.
walkie-talkies. So I don't know, but really, I mean, it's mainly just stupid stuff. Like because the reason I started working there was because my girlfriend at the time, one of her best friends was an assistant manager there, and so then she got me the job. She was fine. She would just complain all the time, but like she was cool. And then we had the other assistant manager who was cool, but then the main like general manager was this like 44-year-old dude who still had like that kind of macho like senior high school like or like sophomore in high school like, oh, I'm not a freshman anymore, so I'm like the coolest person, you know what I mean? He was just that guy. He thought he knew everything, and he just sucked at his job. um Ended up getting fired. I don't know why, but probably some sort of criminal thing. I wouldn't be surprised. But
Nice.
Did we lose? We lost Higgy. Wait, hold up. Oh god, we lost Higgy. Okay,
It's a great way to end that segment. Holy crap, he probably just ended up with some criminal story. Cut.
Yeah, Higgy, you kind of cut out for
wait,
a little
can
bit.
you guys not hear me anymore?
No, we
well,
hear you now.
Am I back?
You were just out for like 2 seconds.
Okay. Where did I cut?
Criminal.
Oh, yeah. So I think he got fired for some sort of criminal charges, but I'm not totally sure. But so he when I first started working there, my thing is like I just grew up never like learning to cook. Not because my parents didn't teach me, it's just my mom loves cooking. So I just never did it. You know what I mean? It's not like I chose not to. It's just my mom loved doing it to where like she just always happened to do it. So I had pretty much no idea what I'm doing. Not to mention these people use like machinery from like the 1970s. So like I don't know what I'm looking at, right? So he sends me in on a Thursday night where we have a special deal so people can come in on discount, sits me in the kitchen by myself, doesn't teach me how to do anything. It literally I literally went on the website, found the phone number for the manager, called him and be like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. He came from his house 20 minutes down the road to come in and show me how to do everything.
Oh my
It's
god,
the
that's so
only good thing that
funny.
man has ever done for me.
Oh
Like
god.
that. We had a
Jeez.
Call him out,
we
Higgy.
had a
Call
we
him
had a
out.
co- oh, he's the reason I quit, which I'm getting to. But we had a roach infestation that they didn't do anything about.
Oh, that's hot.
For me,
Oh
for me and
man.
this other kid, Nick. Okay, so we would do this thing every hour on the half hour. We would have a cleaning song, which was the Cupid Shuffle. If I ever hear the Cupid Shuffle, I immediately just have like a mini mental breakdown, right? I hate it.
It's like
So
radishes whipped cream.
yeah,
Sorry, what about
the Cupid
radishes?
Shuffle.
Excuse me?
The
It's like
Cupid
your whipped
Shuffle
cream.
to me is what
Oh.
whipped cream is to you. But like, so
Man, you
we
must be
would do this.
terrified at weddings.
Yeah.
But so what we would do is we would have this like Ryobi weed killer backpack. So you know how you put like the weed killer stuff in, you kind of like spray the weeds.
Yeah.
So we use that, but we put this cleaning liquid solvent material, whatever the word is in there, and we would spray that on the trampolines for a couple of minutes. It would dry. And it would just like disinfect it, that kind of stuff. And so what I would do is I literally sometimes would just go sit in the back for a few minutes and just wait for a cockroach to come running. I'd spray the crap out of it and then I'd just take the end of it, just hit it like a golf club and just send it out into the back parking lot. I would literally prop the door open and start smacking cockroaches out into the parking lot.
Bro, that was a
I
game to
probably killed,
you. Oh my god.
This sounds
Within
like
the two.
it sounds like it was just like more than just like a every once in a while occurrence.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say I literally killed 40 to 50 cockroaches, and I worked there for 2.5 months.
Oh my
Ew.
And they didn't shut the place down.
Ew.
I love that for you.
That is disgusting.
But it is the worst place of business ever. Like I would leave it a
Cleans
negative
out.
12 stars on Yelp.
Yeah.
Negative 12.
Negative
But
12.
so yeah, but basically, so when I ended up quitting, so I was trying to get a job on campus coming into last semester, so the fall semester. But they didn't tell anyone that the campus was on like a hiring hiatus because of like coronavirus and stuff. And so then I just thought no one wanted to give me a job, which is understandable because I had never really had a job other than this trampoline park minimum wage job. So if people are like, oh, well, he's not really good, we're not gonna like bring him. Like I thought that's what it was. So eventually, after a while, I got an email for the position for the job that I have now, and I went through all the interview like. Well, not quite yet. So they sent me a bunch of paperwork I needed to do first. But the thing is, they were like, "Here's paperwork, give it to us," and they explained nothing. So I missed my deadline trying to email and call them like multiple times. No one responded, and so I missed the deadline. But during that time, I went ahead and put in my 2 weeks at the trampoline park, being like, "Hey, I got another job on campus," because I had to drive 20 something minutes to this park to and from. So it's like a 45-minute round trip. So I'm not only am I getting paid minimum wage, I'm wasting gas money. Now I can walk to work in like 15 minutes. But so I already told them I put in my 2 weeks, and then I missed the deadline for the other job, and so I was just like, well, something's happened, and I'm not quitting. So if you can just revoke my 2 weeks, that'd be great. I'm like, yeah, no problem. 3 weeks later, I get an email from the same girl who sent me the stuff for my new job, and she's like, hey, sorry, a lot of people were having issues. Here's everything that you need to do. So I did that and went through the hiring process, all that kind of stuff. And then what I was going to do was wait out for the rest of the year, go over Christmas break, and just be like, hey, with my new schedule for the new semester thing, I just can't work this job, and just leave the urban air.
Hey, mic drop.
And which is funny. It's funny too because they had even talked about like giving me a raise and all that kind of stuff and working me more hours. And then so
Well, that was the last thing you wanted.
around, well, it was fine because over Christmas break, I was trying to save up money because you know me, Justy. I've been trying to get this PC for a
Right.
while now.
Right.
So shortly after that, I set up my job, and I was like, and so then getting ready to go into Christmas break. This was a time where we had like a million something new cases in Mecklenburg County, which is the county that Charlotte is in North Carolina. There's like a million new coronavirus cases. And so then my brother was supposed to come down from Indiana to be there with my family. So I was gonna go home and
We're all.
Oh no, it's my PC. Oh no.
I feel like they're watching something else.
You guys hear me?
Oh no.
Of course.
Is there a way to like cut it instead
Mhm.
edit it?
Yeah, I'll have to edit it.
welcome back, SpongeBob.
Hold up.
Justy,
Okay, so
what the fuck is wrong with that?
everyone froze for me.
I just saw you starting laughing and then you just disconnected.
We
That must have
thought
looked
you
really-
guys froze.
Yeah,
We
all
were-
of you guys froze for me, and I thought Higgy's thing just cut off again at the weirdest time, so I started
That's what
laughing.
happened.
Oh
But my PC
no,
froze
I
for
just see
some
you
reason.
start laughing and I was like, what's up?
Nah, I'm gonna have to cut some of this. So, we're still going
That's
though.
fine.
So keep going.
Yeah. What was the last thing you heard, Justy?
Don't ask me.
Justy, what was the
Um,
last thing you heard?
I can't remember. I panicked. I
Oh, it
panicked.
was you went home for Christmas.
Oh yeah. I was going home for Christmas.
Yeah. So coming up to Christmas break, my brother, so my eldest brother is my half brother, and he lives up in Indiana. So he was gonna come down and spend the like week of Christmas with my family, and this was right around the time where we had a million cases of corona in my county. So my dad is extremely at risk. So like he's had pneumonia, he has type 2 diabetes, he's had 2 heart attacks, and he's like 57. Well, he was 57 at the time. He's 58 now. So like if this man comes in contact with corona, he's pretty much dead. So at that point I told my general manager, and I was like, hey, like I still want to come into work, but is it okay if I have like maybe a week or so off so I can kind of be away from here and just isolate myself so I can see my family because I only see my brother maybe once a year if that, right? And I wasn't looking to kill my family. So he I can't remember what he was just like. I can't remember what he said. It was something kind of just like, okay, like because he messaged me back because we had this little messaging app, right? And so then that next weekend, which is the day I quit, I have a shift from open to close. And then the next day, I'm supposed to be working from open to like maybe 2 hours from close on the weekend, which is insane. And so then I'm coming in, and about 2 or 3 hours into the shift, the owner comes in, walks up to me, doesn't even greet me or anything. The first thing he says to me, he goes, "What are you, a cat?" I was just like,
Huh?
"What?" And so he says it again, and he's like, "What are you, a cat?" I was like, Excuse me? Like, what are you talking about?" And then, so what he was getting at was like, cats only come around when they need something. So he thought I was just like, I could just do whatever I wanted, and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna do this and this and this and that. Like they were just gonna do whatever. But I was completely confused, and I had no idea like what to do with the job. And I'm trying to keep my job, not kill my family, and all that kind of stuff. And so then he just pretty much starts accusing me of all this stuff, and he's like, yeah, whatever. It's like, and what you said in that message really, really makes us look bad. And he's like saying that I was like disrespectful or whatever. Okay, number one, it's a private message where only my general manager can see it because it's directly to him. So not only is he the only one that he showed the other managers and the owner, right? So they all, because they all knew about it. And then he was like, makes so like no one can see it, so it's not making them look bad because only they can see it, and there's no customers. So how can it make you look bad when it's internal? You know what I mean? And so then I was trying to be, polite, and I was like, I'm just trying not to, get the virus or whatever, and like pass it on to my family. And I was saying, like, because no one wore their masks other than the employees. Like everyone said, I'm not wearing it. All the kids are running around without it. I was like, personally, I'm not too worried about like catching COVID because obviously, like, I'm 19, like I'm an athlete, like I'm a healthy person. So if I get it, like I should be fine. I don't have any ailments. It was more so I didn't want to transfer it to my family. I was like, these people are all like there, and he goes, well, what's funny about that is how many times I had to tell you to pull your mask up last week, and walks away. I have this cloth mask that tends to stretch, and when I talk, it comes down over my nose. That's it, just because it just peeks out when I'm talking, because it kind of sits under my chin, and I was constantly pulling it back up. So if he never talked to me, and me talking back, it wouldn't have come off my nose anyway. You know what I mean? So he just walks off, and I was like, okay. And so then maybe an hour later, people come up to me. He's like, I heard you're quitting. I heard you're quitting. And I was like, what are you talking about? Because I had never said anything to anyone. I was just sitting there cleaning my tables, trying to earn my minimum wage. And they're like, yeah, we're gonna say Brad. I'm not gonna use his actual name, but let's say Brad is the general manager. And they're like, yeah, Brad said something about like we're losing one of the guys and like or something like that. And somehow they all knew it was me. And I was like, no, I'm not quitting. I was like, I don't know where you heard this. And there's multiple people said this to me, like 3 or 4. So I'm walking around. I'm like, screw this. I'm gonna quit. So then I made that decision. I was like, I'm just gonna finish the rest of my shift. I'm gonna get my pay, and I'm just gonna quit, right? So then Chase, the other manager, I love Chase, super cool guy. He actually goes to my school, which is cool. And so he comes up to me, he's like, "Hey, we can't find anyone for a party host tomorrow because we can do like parties." He's like, "So I'm putting you on party host." And he was joking, and I was like, "That's funny because I'm quitting." And he goes, "What?" And I'm like, "You heard me, I'm quitting." And he's like, "Why?" And I pretty much told him the story. He's like, "Yeah, I get that. I'm surprised you didn't quit already because of how they treat you." And so then if this was maybe like 3:30, 4 o'clock. I didn't get off till close. And then he's like, "Yeah, you can do it. You just want to walk around and hang out. I was like, still give you your money." So I'm literally just screwing around, just joking around with the other employees. Like I'm not cleaning anything. Like people literally like I think some kid threw up, and they're like, "Hey, can you clean this?" I was like, "Not my job. I don't work here anymore." Like straight up to a customer. And so then I just left, and then I messaged my manager. I was like, "Tonight is my last shift, and I'm not coming back. Period. Like punctuation. That's it." And then all he responds with is okay. Like the letters okay, not even the word okay, just okay. So yeah, I quit. So that's how that went.
That's how my
Um,
boss talks to us too.
Yeah.
Like I'll be like, I can't come in like this day. He's like, okay, and then it's just like, I'm like, do you like, are you
yeah.
writing this down somewhere? Like, do you know this is gonna happen?
Yeah, and I know Higgy, he did not
Yeah.
have a good time there at all. So I'm glad you
Oh
got
no,
out of that.
I complained about you all the
I
time.
know.
Do you remember all the videos I would send you when I'm under the trampoline?
Yeah, I would just get a video from Higgy, and it's just him under a trampoline. I'm like, all right.
Dude, it's disgusting down there.
Ew.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I love my new job. Basically, the thing with me is that like, my new job is great. Management is awesome. 9% of the work there are great. It's just like 2 or 3 people piss me off. Like we have this one person, this one trainee who comes in, and for whatever reason, all the training shifts fall on me. Like I don't think anyone else has trained any of these new people other than our position lead and me. And this one girl, like so we have this app called Trello, to where it has like a checklist of everything that you need to know, and everything is so vague. Like it's just no explanation of what it is. It's just like Pop Martin Student Union, which is the name of our student union. Like that's it. It's like what about it? Like what do you need to know where it is? Do you need like you know what I mean? So I would ask her stuff off the trail, like, hey, do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? Like we've gone over this, and she can tell you just like this. But when it gets to actually doing stuff, she just freezes up. She's like, uh, and I literally have to explain it to her numerous times in extremely vivid detail before she even considers doing it. And it's like she can't formulate a thought on her own. You literally have to constantly be like, no, this. this. Like I literally, so we got a new shipment of polos that we have. So because we ran out of larges and mediums, and so then I was like, hey, because we got off in 5 minutes, I was like, hey, go down to the front and wait for the next OA to come in. When he's in, tell him to go up to the clothing closet. Guy had worked there for 2 years, so I knew he knew where it was. 25 minutes after my shift is supposed to end, because I'm not allowed to leave until my replacement comes in. I was like, where the heck is this guy? So then I called down to the building manager. I was like, hey, where's the next guy? And she goes, oh, he's just sitting in the back. I'm like, why? Like, he's supposed to come up here. And he's like, okay. Sends him up here. And I was like, did she tell you anything? He was like, no, he wasn't even there. So she just went down and left. I was like, yeah. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like, another thing too, like we have this one person who's like way too energetic. And I am not energetic at all. And it just, I don't know. I'm talking too much. But my only real like issue with, I can't say customers because it's a student onion, but
Ada onion.
Onion.
so like two weeks ago we had COVID re-entry testing to where they just pull people who, like, if you work on campus or living in a dorm, like, hey, just come get tested. We had, keep in mind, there's 3 floors in this building. We had 27 signs, not including our 13 TVs that tell you directions, and like 50 to 60 neon green arrows on the floor, literally like a couple feet from each other, showing you exactly where to go. People literally walk up to the sign, look at the arrows, and be like, hey, where's testing?
Yeah.
Like, it's bad. I mean, 9 out of 10 people would ask, hey, where is it? After reading the sign. So it got to the point where, like, if they even remotely breathed next to the sign, it was like, hey, are you here for the re-entry testing? And they're like, yeah, where is it? Just point it out. People piss me off.
Somebody broke our door at my job the other day because there's literally 4 signs on the door that say pull to open, and people push on it every single time.
Man, you must need a lot of strength to break that door.
Oh my god, no, the guy actually broke it. The door came off. My boss was so pissed off because the guy was the guy was pushing on the sign that says pull to open.
Oh my god.
We're like, how do you even do that? It's like a plastic. It's not like a real door.
Oh, it's the plastic
It's like the
one?
plastic one for
Gotcha.
COVID, but
All right. Well, we're at about 30 minutes over our usual time, but hey, this was a good episode. We did
It
have
was
some technical
interesting.
difficulties, so I have to go and cut some stuff out. So it sounds okay. But yeah, this was a very good episode. Thank you. Thank you, Shy, for being on the podcast this week. We might have to have you back. I think we're gonna start incorporating some more guests. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
That'll be fun. And yeah, thank you guys for listening. This is episode 4. I'm NiceGuyJusty, and we got Higgy, Radish, Keaton, and Shy here. And we'll catch you guys next week. Peace out.
peace out.